Hey guys, welcome to Mad Science! I hope you guys do that with us every time because it's super silly and fun. So this week on Mad Science, we are going to make our own butter. You heard me right. We're going to make our very own butter. So this is a fun science experiment that you can watch and you can eat it afterwards. That's super exciting. I love it. So what you will need for this experiment is a jar. You can do a small jar, like a baby food jar. So Harley's going to make hers in a baby food jar. This will be like a little personal serving. You could do a mason jar. You just want to make sure that it's a glass jar with a lid, just because that will be the most sturdy thing. You will also need some heavy cream. Your parents probably know what this is. So heavy cream, some kind of jar with a lid. Make sure it has a good fitting lid. And then you can also use marbles, glass marbles. You don't have to use the marbles. It'll just help it go a little bit smoother and easier for you. So marbles are optional. Definitely need the heavy cream and the jar. So if you're going to do it with us, gather up your materials and we'll meet you back here in a jiffy. Alright guys, we hope you're ready to make some butter with us. We're so excited. We love to have toast with butter. Right, Harley?
Yes.
This is my assistant, Harley. You're probably getting real familiar with her. Say hey.
Hey.
Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to get your container and take the lid off. So I'm using a bigger jar. Harley's using a smaller jar. So we'll get her lid off. Alright. So you're going to fill your container up about halfway with the heavy cream. It looks like our dog is coming to join us too. She heard, ooh, cream, that sounds delicious.
She's right here. Right here.
All right, so I'm going to fill my jar up about halfway because you want to have some room for this stuff to move around. And notice when you fill it up what it looks like. It's very thick. And it's white, and it looks really creamy. So once you get it in your jar, you can even take a second to smell it. See what it smells like, because good scientists make observations. That means you look at things and you use your senses, your 5 senses that you've been talking about with Miss Trish. So we can look at it and we can see that it's very thick. It kind of coats the glass because it's so thick. You can't see through it at all, so if I put it right here, you can't see that part of my face. You can smell it. What's it smell like?
Not really anything.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a very strong smell. You can taste it. If you want to dip your finger in there, you can taste it. You want to taste it? What's it taste like?
Nothing.
Doesn't really taste like anything. It kind of tastes like milk, but a little bit, just a teeny bit sweeter. You can feel it. Obviously it's wet, so you don't have to feel it. So we used our senses to check it out. You can also be using your senses while we're going through the process because we're going to stop a couple of times. So you got your jar filled halfway up with cream. Now if you want to throw in a couple of marbles, you can do that. And put these in your jar. Whoop! All right. I'm going to put in 3 since my jar's a little larger. And the marbles aren't going to do anything except for help it process. So then you're going to put your lid back on and make sure it's on nice and tight. So you might want to have your grown-up help you make sure it's super tight. You don't want to get cream everywhere. How's yours? Is it super tight? You want me to check it? All right, let's check and make sure it's super tight.
Mine is a little bit on the sides.
That's okay. All right. It's probably a good idea to have napkins handy too. All right, so all you're going to do is shake. Shake, 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 shake. So you just start shaking. Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, 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 shake,
And stop. Every once in a while, stop and see if you notice any changes. Still pretty liquidy, right? You're still pretty
Yeah, but
liquidy.
it's a little bit thicker.
It's starting to get kind of foamy. Okay, back to shaking. Shake, 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 shake.
Mine's getting taller.
Oh, mine's getting taller too. It was only filled halfway, and now it looks like it's up to here.
Mine's up
Whoa.
to here.
Okay, keep shaking. All right, I'm going to take my lid off so you can see what we have so far. It's getting nice and thick
Can you take mine
and
off?
kind of foamy. And it looks like it has more in it than we started with, doesn't it? I'm going to go grab some napkins real quick.
Uh-huh.
Let's
Be right
see what
back,
Harley's
guys.
looks like. Yep, Harley's looks like that too. Nice and thick and foamy. I wonder if, since you guys are scientists, if you could make a hypothesis. A hypothesis is like an educated guess. It means you're not really guessing. You're kind of thinking, I'm using my observations to see what do I think is happening, or what do I think is going to happen next. So my observations are telling me it's still the same color and it's still the same substance inside, but it looks a little different. It's getting thicker. Looks like I have more of it. So what do we think that this is going to make next? All right, once you get your lid back on, get back to shaking. Starting to sound a little different. All right, let's take a pause. See what we got in here now.
I think mine's a little bit.
Ooh, yes. Check this out. This looks to me like whipped cream.
Look at mine.
Let's see if Harley's looks like whipped cream. Ooh, it's so close. It's so close.
Will it feel like butter?
Yeah, it'll feel like butter when we get to the butter.
No, it won't be like really hard to kind of squish.
So once you get to the point that you start to not hear your marbles as much anymore, and you can tell it's a little thicker inside of there. Just trying to give it a good moment
So
shake.
just ask.
Gets to a thicker point,
Hold on.
like these are. This is like whipped cream. See, I
Well,
can
mine is
spoon
not
it out.
like barely even coming out.
Yeah, I know.
Mine's actually like butter.
So get a little taste of it and see.
Now that actually kind of tastes like butter now.
Oh yeah? It's like whipped cream. So far what's happened is we've made some whipped cream. Who knew? So what's happening is that in the cream that we put in our jar that was liquid, it has lots and lots of tiny little fat molecules in it. And so what happens as we shake this up is that we're putting air between the fat molecules. Oh, let's don't do that. And so it's making it fluffier and making it more like a foam. So that's how we get whipped cream. But we don't have butter yet, right? This isn't butter. You wouldn't put this on your toast. This would be really good on some fruit. So let's put our lids back on. Keep shaking. You can leave yours closed if you want, and I'll just open mine. Oh wow, look at that. That is,
it looks like
definitely
it looks like
looking like some whipped cream. Let me taste it.
Doesn't really have a taste.
Tastes like good old homemade whipped cream. All right, keep shaking, friends. Keep shaking. Check this out. Mine is starting to clump up and come away from the edge of the jar. That means we're getting real close to butter.
Mine isn't.
Wow, look at that. Getting thicker and thicker. So you'll notice when it starts to get really thick, then you're gonna start hearing some liquid in there again. And it might be confusing because you might be like, what's happening? It's turning back into cream. It's not. Keep shaking it.
Oh, I can hear the liquid again. Can I see mine?
So what you can do when you start to get the liquid is open it up and you can drain out some of that liquid. So I'm going to pour mine into this container here. What do you guys think this stuff is? So now, inside of here, I have the beginnings of butter, and this is buttermilk, like you buy at the store, and you can bake with it. So once you start hearing that liquid sloshing around in there again, you want to drain some of that off, and then you can shake some more and see if you can get some more liquid out of it.
It's so hard. Can I see mine? Mama, what are y'all making?
Alright, so I've got some more liquid in mine, so I'm going to drain some of that out.
Why do you have these? Because it makes the process go faster.
You can save this milk and use it for baking. You have fresh homemade buttermilk.
Mama, can you open mine?
Alright, so let's see where Harley's is in the process. Oh yeah, it's getting nice and thick.
Let me see mine. That looks gross. Well, I know it tastes.
Keep shaking.
My God.
Just a minute, you don't want to do it with us right now.
I know, but once we are done with the video. You want to try shaking it? No, thanks. It looks chunky. Ew, it got on it.
Alright. the last of my buttermilk and check it out. I have butter. So cool. Okay, so now here is Harley's butter that she made. And then here is Miss Brady's butter that I made. So you can see it still has the marbles inside of it. So now what you want to do is get a bowl of cold, cold water. So ice water is really awesome. And we are going to combine these together. But you know how at home, if you pick up butter, it kind of melts, right? So that's why we want to do this part in some cold water. And we're going to pull the marbles out.
Make sure you have adult supervision for this part too, okay?
And then we're going to combine our butter together.
Can I help? Can I try?
And this part is called kneading. You're going to kind of knead the butter so that it gets out all the extra liquid and you just have the butter. So you do that part in some cold water so that it doesn't melt on you. So we're going to form ours together, and we're just going to kind of knead it all together.
Can I try?
We're just smushing it together in the cold water.
Can I try?
Hold on just a second. And you'll feel some of the little pieces will get really nice and cold, like they're freezing, but they're not. But it will help to kind of pull all those little fat molecules together. So this is all of the fat molecules that was in our cream. We have now separated it, and that's how we get the butter. So we're going to keep doing that for just a few minutes. Go ahead, Harley. Yep. Try to keep it in the water so that your hands don't melt it.
It's so weird. It's just like it feels like actual butter, but like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like pizza dough. So cold. Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to rinse. We're going to put some clean water in here, and we'll be right back. All right, so now we have a fresh jar of water, and this is the butter that we were working on so far. So we're just going to put that back in there, and we're going to knead it a little bit more, getting it all incorporated together. And you will just keep repeating this process until your water stays clear or mostly clear. That means you're getting all of that buttermilk out of there, all the extra moisture.
Speaking of buttermilk, guys, we have buttermilk right here.
Yep, that's the buttermilk that we made from our butter. All right, so here is our butter. Our finished product looks so scrumptious. We're going to put it on some toast. Now, one thing to know about this butter is it is fresh butter. So it can't sit out on your countertop like the butter that you buy from the grocery store, because this butter is so fresh, we didn't put anything in it to keep it fresh. So there's no preservatives inside of this butter. So it's just good old healthy butter that we made at home. Yummy. So you want to make sure you keep it in your refrigerator, and you can totally eat it, and it will be good in your refrigerator for a few days. I wouldn't, probably not past a week. So if you make a small batch like this, that's perfect. So we're going to taste test our butter. All right, so we worked super hard on that butter. It looks yummy, right? So now we're going to taste test it. We've got it spread onto our toast. You ready? Cheers.
It's nerve-wracking.
Mmm. So delicious.
Tastes like ice cream on toast.
Tastes like ice cream on toast. So what do you give it? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
3 thumbs up.
4
4
thumbs
thumbs
up. All right,
4.
guys. Thanks for joining us this time. We can't wait to see you again on
Mad
Science. Bye,
Have fun
friends.
eating